Welcome everyone to today's workshop, in which we'll be travelling to the Gallery of Modern Art, specifically the current exhibit, Curious Affection, created by Patricia Piccinini, and using it as our site-specific influence for creativity.
The learning outcomes for today include developing collaborative skills and understanding their benefits in the creative process, along with improvisation skills developed through site-specific stimulus.
The following will also act as an assimilation of the choreographic techniques of imagery, tempo and dynamics encountered in the last 3 workshops, as well as an opportunity for you to explore your own movement impulses through improvisation activities.
Finishing with learning a section of choreography that corresponds to our GOMA section of our contemporary piece.
Assuming your bodies are warm in accordance to safe dance practices, we will begin the activity called the sculptor and the sculpture. As seen in the choreography of the piece, this part is influenced by the process of sculpting that is seen in Piccinini's exhibit and is improvised by the dancers during the performance. The following activity replicates the rehearsal process that we used in preparation for the dance piece. Splitting into pairs, choose one person to be the sculptor and one person to act as their sculpture. The sculptor's responsibility is to act as the initiator of the sculpture's movement, form and shape. They will do this by touching or brushing a body part of their partner. The sculpture can choose to move toward or away from the feedback. In this way, the sculpture has a mind of its own, which is reflective of the type of exhibits seen in Piccinini's work. To extend this activity, dancers can start to travel their movement, incorporate levels, tempo and dynamics worked on in previous workshops. The sculptor can also incorporate the use of different body parts to influence their partner's movement. Make sure to swap partners so both students can understand the feeling of trust and creation. Now that we have established a sense of trust between peers, we can progress into our next activity, the moving sculpture. I'll get you to double up with another pair so there are 4 members in your group. Label each person 1, 2, 3 and 4. We'll be focusing our movement around the idea of sculpting like that seen in Patricia Piccinini's exhibit, to form shapes both individually and collaboratively. Person 1 will make an interesting shape in the space. From there on, person 2, 3 and 4 will add to the shape, filling the negative space within your team member's sculpture, as shown. You could take your influence from the shapes you made in the last activity, or even a shape from Piccinini's work. Once each member has added to the shape, person number 1 will melt out of the shape and then re-enter the negative space, making it a moving sculpture. The next part of the activity involves a showing of your work. As you can see, we are using a torch to replicate the environment of GOMA. As each group shows their moving sculptures in turn, move the light around the room to highlight the group performing. You are also encouraged to call out words as you watch your peers that underline some of the things that you are seeing.
Incorporating this newfound confidence working with trust and collaboration, let's move into learning the choreography of the GOMA section of our piece. Influenced by the act of sculpting and curious relationships seen in Piccinini's exhibit, while dancing we want to utilise those concepts as well as use key choreographic techniques rather than focus on exact imitation of the choreography. Begin standing with the feet a little wider than hip width apart, with the arms relaxed at the side of the body. Draw your left hand up to cover the bottom half of your face. Your right follows in a circular motion to land on top of the head, fingers spread over your forehead. Curl your fingers in a scratching motion to rotate them around the face in a clockwise motion. This should initiate a counterbalance as shown. After this counterbalance, you are going to sweep the left arm out straight whilst directing your body towards it. The right arm draws up slowly to meet the left. Let's have a closer look at this again. Once the right arm has met the left, The arms swing together, maintaining contact at the hands to twist the body to the right side with the hands behind the back. The feet remain wide with weight shifting between. We will now shift the weight to swing the body over to the other side, with the hands bent at the wrist and pushed into the chest. Your elbow should be pointing away from you. Shift the weight once more to draw the other hand up to meet the wrists together at chest height. The elbow should be pointing outwards. Let's have a closer look at this section again. This section should accentuate a sense of wrapping and transference of weight. Following this, the wrists curl outwards to extend the arms straight in front of the body. Hands flexed at the wrists, fingers extended. The feet step forwards, right-left, in classical first position of the feet. The arms push forwards to match the action of the feet to resemble an offering gesture. This is repeated twice. Let's have a look at this section at the intended speed from where the hands meet after your counterbalance. Now let's have a look from the beginning up to speed. Feel free to pause or rewind the video if you need further clarification.
Now that we have learnt all the choreographic material and have developed the choreographic skills of tempo, dynamics, imagery and improvisation, we can now move on to structuring your individual piece.
The next workshop will be focused on choreographic scores and the use of chants as seen in Merce Cunningham's practice.
We hope you have enjoyed the workshops travelling through the landmarks of Brisbane City and the Gold Coast. And have gained a rich understanding of the foundations of contemporary dance.
See you in workshop 5.